Hi everyone, if you've been here before, welcome back. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Cynthia and I decided to start this YouTube channel because I decided to undergo the vertical sleeve gastrectomy on May 7th of 2019, and that was exactly 1 week ago. So today I kind of wanted to focus this video on giving you a little bit of an update on how I've been feeling this past week, and to tell you how much I've lost, and to give you a little bit of like touch up on the full liquids diet. On my previous video I did talk about the the clear liquids diet. I told you how much I had lost, and I gave you kind of what I ate in a day. So so today, like I said, I'm going to focus on the full liquids diet, and I will do a little bit of a haul. So let's get started. As I told you, I have been 1 week post-op. And since I know that the most important thing for most people, or the one thing that leads to the most curiosity, is the progress so far, the stats, so I'll jump right into that. I started out at 249. I am 5'6". So yeah, I started at 249. Well, actually, I started at 245 with the process going on and everything. When I started the pre-op diet, I went up to 249. As I mentioned in my previous video, that might have been since I was on my period, it could have been water retention, I don't know, but I did go up to 249. After the pre-op diet, I went down to 235, and then when so that was my surgery day weight, 235, and I have gone down to 227.8, I believe. So in 1 week I have lost 7 to 8 pounds, and I am very happy with that. Usually the amount that I tend to lose when I start any diet or any regimen is usually like 5 pounds the first week. So it's been very steady. I have not felt sick or anything like that, so I'm very happy with those 7 to 8 pounds. I expected a little bit of a speedier weight loss, but like I said, I'm very content. So talking a little bit about my energy levels, I am feeling almost back to normal. At the beginning of the full liquid stage, I was feeling a little bit weak. I was still struggling with gas. I was struggling to keep the food down. That consistency of like the thicker liquids were a little bit harder for me to eat and and kind of keep down, but I did fine. I did not have any like upset stomach or anything like that. So that's been really good. Honestly, my recovery has been pretty uneventful, and it's been very successful. I've been feeling very well. I did have bowel movements. I think the day that I uploaded the video, so Friday of last week, I had a bowel movement. That was the first time. Then I had another bowel movement again the following day, and then I went on to, I don't think I had bowel movements for 2 days straight, and then again I had one this morning. So I'm doing really well with that. That's something that my doctor had asked me to keep a watch on, to kind of make sure that everything was going well, that my stomach and then my digestive system was working properly, and it has been. And definitely after I did have the bowel movement, I noticed a huge improvement on the gas. It's honestly, I think it's probably all gone now. The only times that I struggle with gas is when I take too long to eat again. And that's mostly for breakfast, because I do go for like an 8 or 9 hour period where I'm not eating anything at all. So at that time I do struggle a little bit with gas, because my stomach does empty out too much. And that's honestly the only time that's happened. So what else did I want to say about that? I think other than that, recovery wise, I've been doing really well. Honestly, walking definitely helps the most. I probably go on, well, before yesterday, because yesterday I started doing 30-minute walks, but before that I was walking at a very slow pace, probably for about 10 minutes or so. I want to say 5 to 6 times per day. I would do one before breakfast, and then one after every meal, and then one right before bed. So that definitely helped me a lot. It helped me keep my steps up, and I definitely think that has been a huge aid in me feeling better as well. As you guys know, I am at my parents' house, which is why the scenery is a little bit different than my other videos, but I literally do nothing. I've been very blessed. My mom does pretty much everything for me. She helps me out with everything. She cooks for me, and she's always there to help me out with anything that I'm struggling a little bit with. And I think that has also been crucial for my recovery. My stitches, they're not sore anymore. At the beginning of the week, I was having a hard time kind of sitting up. I was very very swollen in the area of the incisions. That's practically gone. I'm still a little bit swollen. I know my body, and I know that when I tend to lose weight, it kind of like my belly is the first thing that kind of like goes down. And right now it's not really going down, and that's because I am swollen, and it's mostly in the area where the incisions are. But other than that, it's been really smooth. I can get up now. I can sleep on my belly. My doctor told me that there was no restrictions with that I wasn't gonna hurt my stomach or my incisions. So he gave me the green light for that the day that I was discharged from the hospital. And I did not do it probably until like the 3rd day that I was home, just because I was a little bit afraid. I would sleep on my side, but never on my stomach. And when I would wake up, I would always wake up with my back, like sleeping on my back. Now I always wake up, since I started sleeping on my stomach, which is the way that I tend to sleep always. I've been waking up on my stomach anyway. And that's been about it. I'm gonna put a clip of all my crucials for the full liquids phase. I'm gonna put everything that I had, that I used. I mean, just because you are so limited in the things that you can eat in the full liquid stage, I did have the same things every day, with the exceptions of like the soups and stuff like that I had for lunch or dinner. But I'll go a little bit more in depth in that in the little clip that I will put right now. So I wanted to do a little haul of the things that I have been using for the past week. So if the video is a little bit shaky, I am sorry. I am holding the camera. But I'm gonna start out pretty much with what I ate throughout the day, and then I'll make a comment about it, and that's it. As you guys know, today marks the last day of my full liquid stage, so that's why I'm doing that. I did get some clips of my foods throughout the day, so I'll try to include that somewhere. And that is my dog, ignore him. So the first thing that I started my day with was half a cup of this lactate milk. I went for lactose free just because I wanted to make sure that it was easy to digest and that it wasn't too bad, too rough on my stomach. So I would have half a cup of these, like I said. This one has let me see, 8 grams of protein in 1 cup. I would have half of that. So because it's not too high in protein, I would go ahead and add this protein shake. I would add half a scoop. I will go in more detail about the protein shake, because this has been, I think, what I consider the most important item out of everything that I have used so far. So I would have that. I would blend it in here. This is just a cup that my mom had, nothing special about it. And it does have a little thing to mix inside of it. I'm gonna show you, sorry that it's off camera. I'm trying to open it with one hand. But yeah, so it has that, and you pretty much just shake it inside, and it makes sure that you have no clumps or anything like that. I would put some vanilla extract every once in a while, but it didn't really need it. To me, it tasted fine. I'm not very picky with flavors. So I would start out my day with that. Then at the beginning, I try to have one of these a day. I would also add protein to them. This is the Cozy Shack Simply Well rice pudding, and this is the Jello This is tapioca puddings. Neither one of them went down well. They don't really have, I think the top one has 1 gram of protein, and the Cozy Shack has 4 grams of protein in the whole thing. But honestly, I had such a hard time putting them down, so I haven't had them anymore. I tried one of each, and then once I saw how they made me feel, I just kind of stopped eating them. Instead, I replaced them with one of these. These are the Live Well, I believe. I'm gonna put the link down below if I say the names wrong, but oh, here it is. Outshine popsicles. These are really good. They're made from real fruit. They have no sugar added. They do have a good amount of sugar, but that's just because they're made from fruit. So I had these instead. The next thing that I would have for lunch and for dinner, I would have the same thing. I would have half a cup of these. These are just soups blended well. My mom made 2 different ones. One was she made a butternut squash, and then she also made a asparagus and spinach one, I believe. These were really good. I did not have any hard time at all pushing them down. They were honestly the one thing that I looked forward to the most. I felt like I was actually eating a meal, nothing that was already pre-made. So I was very happy with those. And I would always add half a scoop of the protein, just because these are made out of broth, and my mom didn't really blend any of the chicken or anything like that with them. It was just pure based off of vegetable. So I would add the half a scoop of the protein. I'm gonna move on to my next snack of the day. I would have these oikos, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I would have these, and these have been all really good. I've enjoyed all of them. I chose these because they're very high in protein, and these I don't add anything to them. I don't add any protein or anything like that. They're really good on their own. I recommend all 3 of the top flavors. I have not tried any of the coconut ones because my mom bought those for herself, but all 3 of them at the top were really good. That's the pineapple, berries, and vanilla, the Oikos 000. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about these supplements kind of. So I had these 2 during the full liquids diet. It was the first one that I had. This is the passion fruit. I did not like this one too much. I would kind of have half of it just to supplement for any protein intake that I might missing out on. So I had half of these, like I said, and I would put them in one of these water bottles like I mentioned in the first video. In the first video, post-op actually, I was measuring half a cup or 2 ounces, and then I would drink 2 2-ounce cups. I don't do that anymore. I just kind of know based on how I feel and the amount that I'm drinking that I can just drink directly from the bottles. But I would put the protein shake in one of these and then my water in the other bottle, and that's how I would keep them cool, because as I said, for me it's just easier for them to go down when they're cold. So this was the first one that I tried. The passion fruit did not like too much, and then this was the last one that I tried. I had this between Mother's Day on Sunday and then yesterday on Monday. This is the apple melon. This wasn't too bad, but it wasn't my favorite so far. The one that I mentioned on my previous video has been my favorite. And the last thing that I'm gonna add to the things that I was having through the day were these gummies, not gummies, chews. Soft chews. I had these for one for breakfast and one at night. That's what my surgeon recommended. These are really good. They do have that little vitamin flavor to them, but it's not too bad. The black grape wasn't too bad. I like them. I'm gonna put a little shot just of the things that it has. For me, the most important is the vitamin B's, the biotin, the vitamin C, and as you can see, has plenty of all of those. I'm gonna put a link down below of everything that I got online, and if I can find links of like the other stuff that I mentioned, I will do that as well. And the last thing that I told you that I would touch on is this protein shake. The reason why I got the Isopure protein shake was because it was the only one that I found online that did not have any flavor. I knew that I might be adding it to my soups and stuff, so I did not want to have anything that had a flavor to it so that it would take away from the things that I was eating. It does have a little bit of a protein shake taste, and it to me tastes a little bit like vanilla, but not really. So if I add it to my soups, it doesn't overshadow the flavor of the soups or anything like that. A scoop has, I believe, 25 grams of protein, and this is the one that I chose also because it says that it's very easy to digest. It's made out of very pure, it says here, look, it says pure naked protein. And then it has no added sugars or anything like that. So this is why I picked this one. I've liked it a lot so far. And I'm gonna keep having it with the rest of my journey. So this is all that I've eaten so far for the past week. This is what my days of the full liquids diet included, literally nothing else. So I hope that this video wasn't too shaky or too out of focus. I'm sorry about that if it was, and I will catch you guys in a little bit telling you about my experience for the first week. So as you can see, it pretty much consisted of what, 5 things: yogurt, milk, the protein powder, protein drinks, and popsicles, and the soups that my mom made for me. And the protein powder and the protein drinks have been my best friends. I have those every day. The protein powder I add to my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And for the snacks, I was having yogurt, which is already pretty high in protein. And then the popsicle, I didn't really have a way of adding protein to that, so I didn't really have any protein when I had the popsicles. But I was reaching an intake of about 70 to 80 grams of protein per day, doing it that way. And that's been the recommended goal for me, 60 to 80 grams of protein by my surgeon. He said that's what I need to enforce, so that's what I've been doing. And as I told you guys, I'm feeling really well. I have not had any lack of energy. I do get tired a lot earlier in the day, like I want to go to bed a lot earlier, but I've also been waking up a lot earlier than usual. My normal schedule consists of like maybe 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at night. Like I'll wake up around 8 or 9 to go to class, and then I'll stay in school all day long, and then I'll come home probably like 10 or 11, and then end up going to sleep like 12, maybe 1 in the morning. And right now, since with the surgery and all, I have been going to bed probably, the latest I went to bed this week was probably like midnight, and then the next day I woke up like at 9 in the morning. But other than that, I've been going to sleep like at 10, and I wake up 6:30 or so. At the beginning I was only sleeping like 7 hours, and now I'm sleeping more like 8 hours or so. I tend to wake up because of hunger. Because I do have a very big gap, you know, that 8-hour gap, 9-hour gap of me sleeping and not eating, that usually tends to wake me up. Or I'll wake up because of thirst. That didn't used to happen to me that often before the surgery, but you know, it's not that big of a deal. Today I have my 1-week post-op appointment with my surgeon. And I might add a little bit of an update on that. Whatever he tells me, I might add it to this video. So there might be a little bit of a jump. And if I don't add anything, then I hope you guys found this video helpful. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them down below. You can always reach out to me on Instagram through DM. And I am pretty good at getting back to people through both ways. So if you have any questions or any comments or anything like that, let me know down below. And if not, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video if it has been helpful to you. As I always say, I love to have you guys along for the ride, and it keeps me kind of motivated, and it also keeps me, I can hold myself accountable, because through me documenting my progress, it also helps me see the things that I might not be doing as well, and the things that I am doing well. And I love to share my progress with you guys. So if you have any questions, as always, leave them down below, and if not, then I'll see you guys next time. Bye.